So for today's video, we're going to talk about how long I think each UFC champion is going to hold the belt and why. And yeah, first I want to say thank you guys for the support on my last video, because I literally had 0 subscribers and 0 views before I posted it, and even a few days after I posted it, and now it's starting to rack up some views and I'm starting to gain some subs, so I really appreciate that. Lots more videos to come, so stay tuned and subscribe if you want. But anyways, let's get into it. Firstly, I'm going to start with the women's divisions, and I'm just going to kind of group them all into one here on this slide because I don't want to go too in depth with them because I don't pay enough attention to give these divisions the time of day and a good explanation. So yeah, but anyways, for strawweight, we have Zhang Wei Li, and for her, I basically think she's going to hold the belt until further notice. Like, I don't see many ladies that will be able to beat her. And she's pretty much already beat a lot of the contenders in her own division. And she's got the fight against Yan Zhao Nan coming up at UFC 300. And I think she's going to win that one. And other than that, the only other threat I really see is maybe Tatiana Suarez. And I think she wins that fight as well. And then I think she'll hold it until maybe retirement or just until she gets too old. I don't know, something like that. For flyweight, Alexa Grasso. And there's a lot of interesting contenders. Obviously, we got Valentina again. I don't know if that's booked yet or if they're going to do that fight, but that's going to be a close one. It's probably a 50-50 fight. And then you got Erin Blanchfield coming up. I think maybe she has a chance to beat her. But yeah, I think Grasso gets maybe 1 or 2 more defenses and then maybe loses it to a good contender like Erin Blanchfield or something. For bantamweight, we have Raquel Pennington somehow. Obviously, Nunes retired and now this division is just wide open. But I think Raquel doesn't even get 1 defense and probably loses her next fight to Pena or whoever she fights. So yeah, that's the women's divisions. Now, moving on to the men's divisions, I'm going to actually go more in depth here with these ones. So starting with flyweight, we have Pantoja, and this one's interesting. Now, a couple key things to point out. Pantoja's 33, which is a little old. He's getting up there, a little bit past his prime. And there's also a lot of contenders. But however, Royval just beat Moreno this past week, and Pantoja just beat Royval for his title defense, so you can't really give him the title shot. And he also beat Moreno already, who Royval just beat, and those are kind of the top 2 guys, so you can't really have him fight those 2. And he's also beat Manal Cap and Alex Perez before, and those are 2 other contenders, so he's already beat a lot of them. But at the same time, in flyweight, there's a lot of surging contenders that are kind of lower right now, but they have a lot of potential. And it's not like you can't do rematches as well. But I think Pantoja is really good. But because of all these factors, I will say he'll defend the belt probably 2 more times. And that's mostly because of his age. If he was younger, I would probably say more, but I think 2 is a realistic expectation. He's beat most of the guys that are near him, and I think it will take 1 or 2 more years for a big contender to come up and take the belt off him as he gets older. Now, moving on to bantamweight, we have Sean O'Malley. Now, this is a fun one. A lot of people have different opinions on him. He has a lot of haters, obviously. Some people think he'll lose the belt right away. Some people think he'll hold it for a while. Now, what do I think? I don't know. This one's tough, man. So he won the belt off Aljo, and he's making his first defense against Cheeto this weekend, actually, if you're watching this video as it comes out. But if you're watching this after the Cheeto fight, I guess you'll see if I'm right or not. But I think he will beat Cheeto and get his first defense this weekend. And then he'll most likely have to fight Merab. And do I think he wins that? It's so tough, but I think the Merab fight is such a 50-50 fight. I think a lot of people think Merab will just run through him. But as good as Merab is at wrestling is as good as Sean is at striking. So it's completely just like a striker versus wrestler fight. And Yeah, I think it's going to be close. But for me, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say Sean beats Merab. And then I don't want to look too far after that because it's just way too hard to predict. But I think he might fight Corey after that, something like that. And that's also a tough fight, but I think he can win that as well. So yeah, I'm high on Sean. I think he's not all just hype. I think he has a lot of skill. So yeah, this is a bold prediction, but I think Sean gets 3 title defenses before he loses it. He's 29 years old, which is, the absolute prime for a champ. So yeah, that's my final guess. 3 title defenses. Easily be dead wrong on this one, but we'll see. Now, moving up to featherweight, we got Ilia Topuria, the newest champ. Now, he's someone that's looked really good, and I don't see very many people in that division that could take the belt off him. Potential threats could be Volk rematch, maybe Holloway, but he's about to fight Gaethje, and he's probably going to take some major damage in that fight. And then maybe Ortega with his jiu-jitsu, and he's coming off that win against Yair. Maybe Mozar Evloev, you can throw him in there. Russian guy, they're always a threat. But yeah, after that, the division kind of falls off. And I think he can definitely hold the belt for a while. The only thing is, he said he wants to retire early, and he doesn't want to fight until the end of the year. So I have a feeling he's not going to fight that often while he has this belt. So I don't think he'll have like a John Jones long title reign with a bunch of defenses, even though he has the potential to. But because he doesn't want to fight that often, and he wants to take time, and he wants to retire early, I still think he'll get about 4 title defenses. And then after that, possibly retire or just fall off because of his age. But yeah, I'm going to say 4. I believe in him a lot. I think he's really good. So I think 4 is a solid number. That's my guess for Ilia. Moving on up to lightweight, we got Islam Makhachev, the current pound-for-pound number 1. And he currently doesn't have a fight booked. And I think he'll most likely fight the winner of Sarukian and Oliveira. I don't think there's any other contenders for him. And I think whoever wins that plays a huge part in Islam's title reign. Also could fight Leon next, but that wouldn't even have an effect on this because he'd be moving up. But I'm going to make a very bold prediction here that a lot of people probably won't agree with. But I'm going to predict that Arman beats Oliveira, and then Arman beats Islam next. Yes, I think Islam won't even get another title defense, and he'll lose his belt next fight. If Arman beats Charles, though, Charles wins, then Islam probably gets like 3 or 4 more, and then retires. But I'm going to predict that he loses it next. Arman is younger, Islam's getting older. I'm not saying he's there yet, but he's getting there. And obviously they fought before years ago, and it was really close. I just rewatched that fight, and I think the only reason Arman lost is because he got a little tired, but he looked really good in that fight. Yeah, that was years ago, so I think Arman's still getting a lot better. So is Islam, but like I said, Arman's younger, so he has a lot of potential. So yeah, that's a very bold prediction, I know. Similar to the O'Malley one. Like, I could be overestimating O'Malley, and I could be underestimating Makhachev. But hey, that's my prediction. I believe in Arman. Moving up, we got Leon Edwards at welterweight. And yeah, this one's tough to me. I think a lot of people didn't believe in Leon very much before the defenses, but I think he's changed a lot of people's minds. But he also hasn't fought a young up-and-comer yet. He's only fought the older guys so far that are past their prime. So yeah, the potential threats, and I hope this first one doesn't happen, but Islam could move up, as I mentioned before, and that would obviously be a dangerous fight for him. I think Islam's definitely big enough to move up. And yeah, I can't predict who he's going to fight next. That's just too hard. But I just have to speculate and then base my answer on that. So I think Islam is the number 1 threat, which is kind of funny because he's not even in the same division, but that's just how the UFC rolls nowadays. Next threat, I would probably say Bilal, just because he probably has the most chance, besides Islam, to get a shot. He's one of those guys where they just denied him for so long, and it's getting hard to deny him at this point, so I think he's next. And then you got Shavkat, obviously. He might be the biggest threat. And then I'd throw Ian Gary in there. He's number 5 now, and he's on the rise, and I think he is a threat to him, so throw him in there. But I think he beats Bilal, and I assume Bilal will get the next shot. But I don't know about the others. I'm going to guess that Leon gets one more defense, most likely against Bilal, and then he loses it after that. I think the other threats are just too dangerous. So I'm going to say he gets one more defense, and then that's it for him. I hope not, though. I like Leon. I like watching him fight, so I hope he gets more than that, but I'm going to predict 1. Moving up to middleweight, we got Dricus du Plessis, another very new champion who most people wouldn't have predicted, me included. And again, this one is weird. I would say the only key factors here are 2 guys named Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland. Are those 2 going to fight each other, or are they going to give Izzy the shot, or the Strickland rematch? It's hard to know. I'll tell you what I think is the most likely to happen. I think they give Izzy the title shot on a big card soon. And what happens in that fight, I think Izzy shows up super motivated, like his older self on the come up. And I think he really puts it on Dricus and wins the fight. Another bold prediction, I know, because Dricus has looked really good and he's definitely changed my mind. I think I bet against him in literally every single one of his fights, and he's proved me wrong every single time. So I'm going to keep doing it. Sounds smart. But yeah, I think that happens. And even if they give Sean the rematch, I think he can easily win that. So yeah, I think Dricus gets 0 title defenses and he loses the belt in his next fight. Second last but not least, we have Alex Pereira at light heavyweight. He's also a fairly new champ at this weight class, and he has a fight coming up against Jamal Hill in a little over a month. So first, starting off with that, I do think he wins it. And honestly, this might be a hot take, but I think if Jamal was completely healthy, he beats Pereira, but obviously he's not. Or his Achilles not even a year ago, so I just can't trust him with that. I think something's going to go wrong. And yeah, so I think Alex gets that win and gets his first title defense. But after that, I don't think they can deny Magomed Ankalaev anymore. And yes, I think Magomed beats Alex. Age is on his side, grappling is on his side, he's Russian. Obviously, Alex can catch anyone with that insane hook, but my money's on Magomed. Which I don't know how you don't give him a title shot after Hill gets it, so. No prediction for Pereira, 1 more defense. Finally, the actual last but not least, we got John Jones at heavyweight. And I know he's recently said he wants to fight Stipe and Aspinall and a few more guys, but I don't buy that. What I think will actually happen is he's going to fight Stipe. He's going to wait till he's healthy, fight old man Stipe, win that, and then most likely retire. And even if he doesn't retire and decides to stay, I think Aspinall probably beats him. I know he's the GOAT or whatever, but the GOAT is getting really old. So, yeah, either way, if he stays or he goes after the Stipe fight, I think he only gets 1 more defense. Pretty simple either way. So, yeah, those are my predictions. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know if you guys agree in the comments or if you think I'm crazy. I probably am on a few of these, but yeah, again, thanks for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Like I said before, definitely more videos to come. So yeah, peace.